Now behind us, guys, we have got an HSV Clubby. It's an R8, and this one's an E1, but it's a late model. And these were actually the first to feature the LS3 here in Australia. And with just a factory-enhanced Waukesha exhaust, a 6-speed manual in this one, rear-wheel drive, these things are so much fun still today. And when they came out, man, let me tell you, they were on another level. So in this video, we're gonna go take this thing out for a drive. We're gonna show you how good these can be still in 2024 and why you should have one in your garage. So let's fire it up. Get on the road. All right, now in the E1, the old HSV, mate, and look, in a 6-speed manual, this is what you want. And dude, the 3-pedal game in HSV was so strong, and having the LS3 under the bonnet, the exhaust sounds great, loads of power, and man, like the ad says, you just want one. You drive one of these things, you'll soon find out why these are still so popular today and desirable, because they just don't make them like this anymore. They really don't. Now these E-Series Clubsports, they first got shown off in 2006, so they were actually well and truly ahead of the Falcons. They didn't get the FG body style until 2008, and this one being a 2009, it's got the LS3. Previous ones, they were gonna have the LS2, so they made a little bit less power. I think it was 307 kilowatts. This one, 317 kilowatts, 550 Newton meters, 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8. And look, the LS3 in the LS game is the one you want. You know, this thing, easy to make power, it's a really strong engine. They last forever. They're quite bulletproof. And man, with just a basic exhaust like this, the old Waukesha, it sounds beautiful. And look, I always thought this car got a lot of hate, probably just because of the, you know, the boganish reputation, the big size of it, the heavy weight. You know, this thing's just under 1.8 ton really, but it's not about that. You know, when you get this thing on a backcountry road like we're on today in the hills, it's still just so nice to drive. Like, it really is. It might not be the fastest thing through a canyon, but man, you're gonna have the biggest smile. You really are, especially when you got 3 pedals and a 6-speed manual. It's just so enjoyable. That mid-range torque, you shift your own gears, you hear the pops and crackles out of the exhaust. Man, it's heavenly. And as always with HSV, you know, I can't say it enough that they were ahead of the time. Like, they always seem to have one leg over forward, and you just feel it in their design language. Like, you step inside this, and yeah, it's from 2009, but it still kind of feels like a nice place to sit. I love the 3 pod gauges you get above the radio. And, you know, even just the cluster on the dash looks quite nice. They just had that style. These HSVs, they really did. They took it to that next level. And when you have a soundtrack like this out the back, I don't know if the old boss could really compete, unfortunately. And look, on the used market, you're still going to be paying sort of that like 35 to like 45, maybe even 50 grand for a clean, low-K manual. They're still demanding quite a bit of money. And honestly, I think they're only going to go up because, again, they don't make them like this. You can't get anything similar to this new anymore. And man, with all this electrification, all these hybrids, these batteries, you know, there's just no more good old school kind of 3-pedal V8 cars. And this particular one too, in Australia, it's an HSV, you know, built here. They got too much history. These things, again, the noises, the sensations, just the feel through the pedal too, you know, it's too good. And this thing will still stop. You know, it's a heavy car, but they have serious big HSV brakes, front and rear. Oh, the crackles, man. That Walkinshaw exhaust. Oh my goodness. And guys, again, if you've been enjoying this content, make sure you hit the big red subscribe button. Click the bell notifications, like the video, leave a comment. And it's how we get around. We see these cars, we bring them to you at home. And man, again, do yourself a favor, guys. Get off the couch, get off your computer, go buy an Aussie V8. You know, just do it. They're too good. They are too damn good. And yeah, until you experience one like this out on a nice windy road, you know, you just won't get it. So this is yeah, it's what car enthusiast life really is all about here. Oh, mate, with the sound like that, you know, how can you not love this thing? Even from the styling, you know, I just think it's not my favorite generation, don't get me wrong, but they're just still cool looking. Like, you know, they were different. They're the big wings on them, you know, the unique front bars, and they were trying stuff. You know, the Aussie cars, they were always trying stuff, and I really do appreciate them for that. And again, the fact that they always offered them in a manual, a V8, yeah, just, it's so a shame. It's such a shame that we've lost the industry here. And man, I think a lot of Americans would be watching this video and just going, why the hell did we not get that? You know, I know you got a lot of cool cars as well. You know, you got a lot of Corvettes and things like that, but again, just a vehicle. These Commodores turned HSV Clubsports, like, they just had that recipe for almost the ultimate car. You know, if you needed one car that could basically do everything, it was this thing. Like, it fit the whole family in the back. They're really reliable. You can tow with them. You know, you can pass road trains, do what you want, you know, hit a back road. And you want to put the boost up, you know, slap a turbo on it, a supercharger, whatever you want to do. And these things can make the power. They got grunt. Man. Now where everything's a 2-liter, or it's got a battery, this was where the real magic was. They're just a lot of fun to drive. They really are. You got to get the manual too, guys. I stress it enough, you know, like the 6-speed auto, it was a big improvement over the 4-speed slippery, but it's still got to be a 6-speed manual. Like, you need that, guys, you really do. And pay the money, it's worth it. If you don't know how to drive it, become a man, learn how to, and you won't regret it. Now it's time to do the WiperTech wiper test. So, what is the E1 HSV Club E? How the wipers go? Let's see. So pull back on the stock. Oh, yeah, right. That's the fancy under the wiper jet. I like it. Not too bad, guys. Again, we're sponsored by WiperTech. If you want the best wipers in Oz, use my code. It's called Ross15 off. Link is in the description below. You're gonna get 15% off and free express shipping. So huge thanks to them. All right, guys, we're gonna attempt the 0 to 100. So we're just gonna reset the draggy. Here we go. I think we made it. We are in the hills here, so it's pretty tricky to get an opening, but I think we made it. So let's have a look at the time. Now guys, we just did a 6.5, and look, I think that's a pretty respectable time. It's a manual. I'm not a race car driver. We're out in the hills. It was a pretty stockish example, so 6.5, 0 to 100, that's a pretty reasonable time. But look guys, we're gonna finish the video off here. So what do we think the HSV, the Clubby, the R8, the E1, the first one to show the LS3? And I don't know, again, I just think if you can get in to an HSV, any sort of, Aussie V8, you should. And especially if it's manual, if you can do it, you can hack it, go that, really try and focus on that. And yeah, you won't regret it. But guys, leave a comment. What do you think of this? Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. If you did, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. We'll see you on the next one.